going right into a fight. Okay. Okay. The Surge. A lone wave rises to eternity, cursed to never break, the hands of time having stilled the rage of its tortured creator. God, that's one way to frickin' call a surge. Jesus. Look at that. Literally just frozen in time.
It's not much further now.
The path seems well kept. Do you and the villagers often come this way?
Only me. Once every new moon without fail. It is my duty both as village elder and Walyus's descendant.
But surely no one blames you for what happened. Why should you bear the responsibility alone?
You misunderstand. I do it because I want to. To show him that he isn't alone, and that there are still some of us who would see an end to his suffering. Suffering you will soon witness with your own eyes.
Either she is the dominant and we're trying to...
Left unattended, the path would be reclaimed in a matter of moons.
She's either dominant and she's trying to fix something that she did, or she is the descendant of the current dominant and she will eventually become the dominant.
Does the light point the way to the child?
It does indeed.
This is a cool, dude. Holy
Look at all
crap.
the droplets of water suspended in midair.
Where they have remained untouched by time for 80 summers.
It's not right.
No. It's not.
Wow, look at that.
There. Up ahead.
That is a huge impact.
Down in the center. Follow me.
He's still primed.
I'll never forget my first priming. The fear. And I was old enough to understand what was happening. One can only imagine how this poor child felt.
He is the victim of an unforgivable sin. Committed by people who saw him as nothing but a means to an end. He must be so frightened.
Then I'll ease his burden.
You don't mean?
I'm not going to hurt him. Contrary to the tales, I don't go around killing dominants for no reason. What if I told you there was a way to remove Wallace's icon?
I tell you, you were a madman.
It's hard to believe, I know. But it can be done.
I've done it.
Though, it isn't without its risks. Part of the icon remains no matter what.
So, it might still come to violence.
I don't know. It depends on the dominant. I've seen things end well, And I've seen things spiral out of control. But I do know one thing. If we turn our backs on this child, there will be no end to his suffering. And I think that a worse fate than the alternative. Don't you?
Very well. Do what you must. And whatever happens, I will own the consequences.
Don't be afraid, little one. Let me bear the weight.
Freaking machine gun.
It's going to be all right.
Is it done?
I think so. I can feel the icon inside me. But something's wrong.
Oh boy. Oh wow. That's
He
gorgeous.
wasn't just afraid. He was angry. All right. Let's see what you've given me.
Yeah, it's an Angie baby. That's beautiful. Power of water. So claimed a portion of Leviathan's essence. Serpent's Cry. Can summon Clive's off-arm sea-spitting serpent. Dealing precision okay. Interesting. Interesting. Wait, I can roll in the air? While using Serpent's Cry, press R1 again while dodging will cause Clive to roll in air, extending the dodge even further. Huh. Only Leviathan's abilities are available during this battle. Okay.
Is that Leviathan?
No, just an Eggy, but a formidable adversary nonetheless.
Dude, I like this dodge. Oh, crossbow's kind of cool. Okay. What in the hell?
It has friends.
Oh, okay. That's gonna have to be something that I like to look into. Oh, okay, cool. Party bonus. Interesting. Okay. So crossbow is kind of nice because I can it actually brings a bunch of the guys into me, it seems. Wow, that actually does a lot of good damage though, bro. Like, this is just a normal attack, and it actually does a lot of good shield damage. This actually isn't too bad now. I'm not a huge fan of that because it leaves me open for a while. Well, I just got Tide Slinger. Not sure what that trophy is, but we'll look at it later. He's got Tide Slinger. Goodbye. Just felt like a freaking just repeating rifle gunslinger.
Is everyone all right?
He seems calmer now.
You said Walius was frozen in time.
I think I might switch out Shiva for this one, actually.
We were here. How?
So far, the only move I like so far is the cross.
I don't know.
But other than that, it's... I like the actual icon ability.
Or anyone. Until now.
The child has been bound for nigh on a century. If he has been conscious from the first, we must remove the seal at once.
It's not that simple. I wish it were, but... there's more to this tale. It would be better if I explained back at the village.
I see. Then let's return before it gets dark.
I'm sorry, Walius. I will make this right.
Low.
So, part of Leviathan is inside you now, is it? Does it hurt?
No. Not anymore, anyway.
Good. Because I still have need of your strength. If you want to know the rest, we should head to the Witten Hall.
Of course.
Alright, well, real fast. Leviathan channeled. Haha! Well, we can go ahead and master this. So this is Abyssal Terror. Rip open a slowly expanding gateway to the murky depths of the sea when timing is right, send forth an abyssal storm. Interesting. I have to take a look at that. Crossbow's like the only one I actually like, but I have better abilities for that. So, I mean, that does a lot of good, like, you know, stun damage, but it requires me to sit still, which I'm not a huge fan of. Twin Waves. Oh, drags him to a central point. That might be good, actually. And then Tsunami. Conjure a whirling wave of titanic proportions to swallow up and spit out all enemies caught in the surf. So that's a damage of 4 with a stun of 2. Because I was using Diamond Dust for obviously that. And then there's obviously Bahamut with a 5. That's not going anywhere. That does stun of 3, but majority of the time I'm not using it for the stun. I'm using it for the damage. I don't use Earthen Fury. I'm not using that. What is this one? So it's 3 and 3. It did say I could make other sets, right? Okay, so let's do this. Let's go Leviathan. Then let's go because I'm not even using that anymore, to be honest. Shiva. I don't need to do that if I already have one transport. Huh. Titan and Odin. And then with these, we'll do our normals. So, because this one will be, we'll do Tsunami. And we'll do Dancing Steel, because that's how we had it. For him, we're gonna have our, where is it? Diamond Dust. And our Impulse. And then obviously on here, we are going to have Judgment Bolt and Giga Flare. We'll give that a shot just to kind of see how it would work. Might as well, right? Gotta try everything. I don't think I'm going to enjoy Abyssal Terror. I think the only one I'm really going to enjoy out of this is probably Cross Counter. Because I'm not a huge fan of staying in the back away from people. Especially standing still.
The spell which
I don't
binds
think I can do
Walyas,
that.
you must first know who we are and what drove my forebears to commit such an atrocity. This tapestry is our story, the one that brought us here. After generations of wandering, my people sought refuge in northeastern Storm, some 170 years ago. But in exchange for our safety, the Gregorian Church demanded we renounce our faith and branded us heretics when we could not.
To be exterminated, as a lesson to others.
And so was it chronicled in the Imperial histories. For anything less would have made the Church seem weak. Yet a handful survived. The few who did fled north and west, and in doing so discovered two things that would forever shape our fates. The first was an old legend, revealing how to make your very own Mother Crystal.
I've heard that one before.
Yes, yet it gave them new hope, however false. Our ancestors convinced themselves that they could recreate the divine if they could only find a strong enough heart. A living being capable of channeling torrents of ether. And the heavens provided.
A dominant Walyas.
They'd stumbled across a nostrum in an ancient ruin, which they believed could provoke a sudden outpouring of a creature's ether. They meant to enrage his icon. Leviathan would have destroyed everything, had our people not made their second important discovery. A means to stop time itself.
Where did they find that? The Northerners had no such magics, or they would have used them.
When our ancestors first arrived, the land was uninhabited, save for an old witch who lived on the highest peak. Her body had been consumed by the curse, a cruel payment for her long years of service to the Northern Thanes. So desperate were they to prevent the fall of Drake's Eye, they'd forced her to devise a spell to stop time.
But Drake's Eye did fall.
It did. When she finally perfected the necessary magics, it was already too late. As punishment for her failure, the Thanes exiled her to this forsaken place to live out the few days she had left. Knowing her suffering, our ancestors cared for her as best they could, and in return, she gifted them her spell. That even though she should die, her legacy might live on. So armed with both the knowledge of the ancients and the secrets of time, our ancestors settled upon an ambitious plan. They would create a new Mother Crystal and enchant it that it might endure for all eternity. Thus would our people's wandering, our suffering, finally end, and prosperity visit us once more. And all it would require was the sacrifice of a single child. A small price to pay, or so they believed.
Another victim of man's blind reliance on the Mother Crystals.
Yeah.
So we know the seal source. How do we break it and restore the flow of time?
Do you recall the dome of light on top of the cliffs to the west? Inside lie the ruins of an old temple. It was there that the witch built the Vare, a conduit of sorts that channels her remaining ether into the surge. But it's been a long time since anyone set foot in the place. And now, there are others who claim it as their own.
Then we shall go prepared for a fight. That said, it may be best if one of us stays behind.
You think the village could be in danger?
We saw the ether flow from Wallius in all directions, but only encountered a single familiar. There will be more. And should even one make its way here, I doubt the walls could hold it back for long.
Then I shall stay. The Phoenix will see your people safe, tributary.
You have my thanks.
Very well. We should depart at once. I fear
I
time
mean, it
may
makes
no longer
sense.
be a
I think we
luxury
had
can afford.
Joshua mainly for the Omega DLC, so we should be focusing on just Jill on this one. Makes total sense.